Given the connection the 501st Legion had first to Anakin Skywalker during the Clone War and then to Darth Vader during the era of the Empire, one might think that the success and reverence for the Legion was merely due to the success of Skywalker and Vader. As the Jedi and Sith Lord went, so too did the 501st. But arguably even more important to the legacy of the 501st Legion was the efforts of Palpatine and Thrawn, who both greatly admired the 501st and ensured it was considered one of the most elite units in the galaxy. Starting out as a brigade within the Republic's Grand Army, although units of the 501st Legion were assigned to the Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker and his Padawan Ahsoka Tano, it was Palpatine who could be said to be the true founder of the Legion and catalyst for turning it into one of the most feared units in the galaxy. Very early in the first year of the Clone War, Palpatine recognized the numerous successes of the 501st Legion and the reputation it gained since the first Battle of Geonosis. Certainly, Anakin's leadership and unorthodox methods were a major factor, but the Supreme Chancellor saw that these methods were flawlessly adopted by Rex and his troopers of the 501st. It wasn't merely Anakin's success, the entire unit was greatly admired by Palpatine, gaining victories against overwhelming odds. Therefore, early in the war, Palpatine completely changed the direction of the 501st, ensuring it evolved from a conventional military unit within the Grand Army into something completely different. In secret, Palpatine founded what we would all recognize as the 501st Legion by the end of the war. He ordered that numerous clones within the Legion be moved to a secret location and given additional training that would see them exceed the abilities of the typical clone trooper unit in the war, something that was already occurring naturally. In this way, Palpatine's initial admiration for the 501st turned the Legion into an amalgamation of units with special training that were then deployed to battlefields as required by the war. Further, troopers of the 501st were then monitored and tracked by Palpatine, so the most effective clones could then be selected for special assignments. One such assignment, of course, would be the attack on the Jedi Temple during Order 66, where the clones helped to annihilate the Jedi Order. But make no mistake, this action, and really the immense successes of the Legion during the Clone War, weren't merely the creation of Anakin and then Vader. They were born out of Palpatine's initial admiration for the 501st, which saw them become one of the best and most loyal units in the Grand Army. But Palpatine had another reason to admire the 501st Legion. The unit was arguably the most important in helping the Sith Lord establish his control over the galaxy. One of Palpatine's most immediate goals after the rise of the Empire was to extend Imperial authority through the entire known galaxy. This was no small feat. Although the Republic had won the war, there were still numerous worlds in the Outer Rim that remained lawless, rejecting Imperial authority just as they did the Republic before the war. Palpatine couldn't have this, and so the first years of the Imperial era were defined by the Emperor's efforts to reconquer the Rim. And in doing so, Palpatine turned to Vader, yes, but also the elite troopers of the 501st, whose ranks were now being swelled by new recruits loyal to the Empire. The 501st performed impressively in these early years, whether it be in helping Vader track down Jedi survivors on Kessel, or annihilating separatist holdouts on New Plimto. From Mercana to Mon Digitalis, Honegger to Mustafar, the 501st Legion literally built Palpatine's New Order in the first decade of his rule. The vision Palpatine had for the unit early in the Clone War was playing out, and the admiration the Emperor had for the 501st was only strengthened when the Legion evolved from a clone trooper unit to one within the Stormtrooper Corps. But no amount of admiration from Palpatine could save the 501st Legion after the Emperor's death on Endor. As the Empire began to fracture in the post-Palpatine era, with Imperial warlords claiming authority over different regions of the galaxy, the proud history and traditions of the 501st began to be unraveled. Because the Legion was dispatched throughout the galaxy, the unit found itself to be more and more fragmented, with these fragments falling under the control of numerous leaders. In this environment, it wasn't long before the 501st Legion was dissolved and ceased to exist. However, the long-honored history of the 501st was not forgotten, and it was revived by another Imperial who long admired the Legion and recognized the value in the unit's name, Grand Admiral Thrawn himself. During the era of the Empire, Thrawn would establish a secret government within the unknown regions at the behest of Emperor Palpatine, with the Emperor supplying Thrawn with massive amounts of resources to carry out his mission. This government would be called the Empire of the Hand, and had the task of exploring and pacifying the unknown regions so Palpatine could focus on the known galaxy, and then extend his authority beyond the borders to the unknown regions. After the original 501st collapsed following the death of Palpatine and Vader, Thrawn remembered the Legion and refused to allow it to disintegrate into nothing. With full knowledge of its legacy, Thrawn reconstituted the 501st Legion with the intention it would serve as Empire of the Hand in the Unknown Regions. But it should be recognized, this wasn't merely Thrawn taking advantage of the name. He wanted to see the Legion revived, and he put the reconstitution efforts in the hands of one of his most trusted senior captains. Because of Thrawn's admiration for the history of the 501st, the Legion's legacy was saved, helping to ensure the 501st Legion survived, and was carried forward into the Fel Empire decades after it was originally utilized by Palpatine in his plans to become Emperor. So there we have it, Palpatine and Thrawn's history with the 501st Legion. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... for Reconstitution.